This is February 1st, ladies and gentlemen. So that means Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to you. Absolutely love it. And today, for Black History Month, we're going to take one of the originals, one of the 80 greatest Redskins, and the first African American to grace the Washington Redskins with his presence, Bobby Mitchell, the late, great Bobby Mitchell, who died in 2020. This man was amazing. Came over here from Cleveland in 1961 on a blockbuster trade. Ended up playing till about 1968 with us. Obviously a Hall of Famer. Went from running back to wide receiver. This guy, honestly, when he was in Cleveland, wasn't being considered the next Jim Brown, but that's one of the guys who he patterned his game after. And he was, absolutely lethal as a back. But when he came out here, they tried to put him over there, same with Charlie Taylor, but they kept him back at wide receiver. And this man was absolutely amazing. 4 Pro Bowlers in his time, 3 times first team All-American, twice he was the second team All-American. This guy led the league in receptions in 1962 and receiving yards. He led the league twice. This guy right here went from running back to wide receiver, and not very many people have been able to successfully make that transition. But not only did he do it, but he did it with grace. Obviously, at that time, our owner, George Preston Marshall, was not hiding his disdain for the African-American community. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, he was the last owner to add African-American players to his team. And Bobby Mitchell talks about how it was difficult at times to deal with that, not being able to eat at the same restaurants or stay at the same hotels as maybe your teammates or whatnot. But one of the things that I love the most, and I've always loved it, is that football is a great equalizer. You know what I mean? When you're on that football field, it's not about you're this, your color, you're that color, what you do offside the field. It's about, I need your help to do this. We both have a common goal. Let's work at it together. And Bobby Mitchell absolutely proved himself. Like I said, one of the 80 greatest Redskins. His number 49, was retired. And this guy is not only in the Washington Ring of Fame, he's also in the Cleveland Ring of Honor. Okay? Bobby Mitchell is absolutely by far one of the top tier wide receivers of his generation. And I hate that I cannot describe how great this tandem was. You've heard about, John Taylor, Jerry Rice, or, you got Irvin and Alvin Harper back when, or those guys but Charlie Taylor and Bobby Mitchell, were almost unstoppable. The fact that we look at the fact that we didn't win Super Bowls in those first couple years, but our offense was just over the top. You got the likes of Sonny Jurgensen throwing it to these guys and Billy Kilmer. It was just so great to go back and look at these guys' talent. Obviously, we were not able to see them actually play. They retired years and years prior to us being born. But looking at the old footage is just how unbelievable the things that they were able to do on the field at that time. Come on now. So shout out to Bobby Mitchell, the late, great Bobby Mitchell, number 49. You were definitely well missed, and we will definitely shout you out on this first day of Black History Month. So
I love that, man. When you hit something that I think is something that's easy for us to gloss over in 2023 is the fact that he went from running back to wide receiver, because the way the players are built today and the way the game is played, space and speed, we're kind of like, Curtis Samuel, look at him. He's taking handoffs. Debo Samuel, some of these guys are positionless. Antonio Gibson. But back in that time, it was a different type of play. It was a little bit more traditional and probably a little bit more of a pounding running game. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he was able to do both and excel at both shows how the type of athlete he was. And the words escape me, just how a superior athlete that he was. And the other thing is, you mentioned, the owner, I think we said this last year, is because that owner, George Preston Marshall, was not going to draft an African-American player. And so we traded that pick or that player that was drafted to Cleveland, and that was Ernie Davis.
Yeah.
having leukemia and
Right.
never, panned out. And so like that, Bobby Mitchell became, historic in that aspect, that, with that trade, because he became a legend here in DC, and that, everything that came with it might never have happened had we not had that trade.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. In the play, he always, I have always been somebody that loves watching the older films and the older videos. NFL films with Steve Sable, as he was another teacher of mine when I was growing up, because I was watching all of those. But one of the things he would talk about is that, coming back to play Cleveland, he just, all he wanted to do was get that shot to just show, Paul Brown, you messed up. You never should have let me out of your sight. And he said, there was a play where he had, where it was a crossing route. They hit him across the middle, and he was running towards the Cleveland sidelines. And he said there was a guy there, and he said he did a little quick stutter step and then kind of got around him, and it was right in front of Paul Brown. And he said he kind of hit him with a glance and then took off down the sidelines. And he said that moment for him was it. That was the moment that it was like, yes, I am well worth it, and I am everything that as advertised. So shout out to him. Like you said, the late great Bobby Mitchell. But yeah, that is your Black History Month fact.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.